Hello, everyone. Welcome to DCTV Recap. I am Jason Inman.
I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson.
This is the show where we like to talk about all the CW DCTV shows, and today is the first time that we are doing it live. We thought that would be great. So everyone out there in the chat that is joining us live, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Please let us know if we sound and we look okay. We're gonna be taking your questions. We have some questions predetermined, and also we have a super chat that's always available to you if you want to skip to the head of the line. And Raymond Verrata, of course, has already jumped the gun. We're gonna get to his question, of course. Ashley, I don't know if you know about TV upfronts.
I do know about TV upfronts.
So TV upfronts started this morning, or they started, and this is basically where the networks go to New York and they say, hey, here's the new trailer for the show, here's what's being canceled, here's the new actors that are showing up, basically to get the TV stations and the advertisers, excited to, whatever. I know you've worked TV upfronts. I've worked TV upfronts several years in a row. Yeah. And the CW TV upfronts this morning announced a bombshell.
Yeah.
Basically announced a bombshell. They said, and I'm just going to throw up, of course, Batwoman is coming to Arrow. That is correct. In the crossover this year, Batwoman is going to, Katie Kane, I believe is her name in the comic books, is going to be coming to the Arrowverse for the crossover. It's going to be set in Gotham City. We've never heard Gotham City mentioned before. We've heard Bruce Wayne's mentioned on the show before. This is a very interesting turn of events. Now, I know everybody kind of wanted Superman to be this year's crossover, but we're getting Batwoman. Ashley,
there's still a chance that we could see Superman in this crossover. Batwoman does not preclude Superman entirely. I will say that.
Sure. So what do you think about this announcement? Again, Stephen Amell had been hinting all week that he was going to announce something big. This was the announcement that he made.
Yeah, I think I'm a little lukewarm on this announcement.
Okay, why?
Personally. I would rather see so many other members of the Bat family before I saw Batwoman.
Like who?
Cassandra Cain.
Okay.
Tim Drake. Some of those characters that are going to be difficult to place in the movies.
Can I offer a devil's advocate?
Absolutely.
Do you think that they only picked Batwoman because she's the one that maybe the theatrical office doesn't care about?
I think that's absolutely. I think
there's no chance. There's no chance she's in the movie.
The one they were allowed.
Yeah.
Now I like Batwoman just fine.
I do too. She's got a cool design.
I've read one good Batwoman story throughout history. Just if you were going to present me with a Bat family character to be excited about, she's lower down my list. I like that we're seeing Gotham.
Yeah.
I like that we're seeing the CW do Gotham because I'm not a huge fan of the Gotham television show. I hope it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I saw someone in the comments said Batwoman and Supergirl world's finest. I hope if Supergirl gets canceled that they would consider doing something like that because I think Melissa Benoist's Supergirl is really great.
I want to get to, we have a super chat here. Raymond Verrata very early on gave us a super chat. I just wanted to introduce the topic. Apologies, Raymond, for waiting on your question here. He has a great question. If Batwoman will be introduced in the CW crossover, which we've confirmed, will it be Tower of Babel, a.k.a. JLA Doom, or No Man's Land? Okay.
I don't think it'll be No Man's Land.
So, I don't think it'll be No Man's Land either.
Unfortunately, and No Man's Land is awesome.
So, if you don't know what Tower of Babel is a Mark Waid Justice League storyline where Batman has all these plans to take down the other Arrow heroes. That is, and I'm gonna give major kudos here to Raymond. That is a stellar idea
for a crossover.
Imagine, just set this up right now. Imagine this. Arrow gets some intel that there's a vigilante maybe doing something that he doesn't like, because Oliver doesn't like what a lot of other vigilantes do, right? In Gotham City. They all go there, or Arrow goes there to help take him down. She takes down Arrow. Flash goes there. She takes down Flash. She takes down every other person in the idea of God. I think there's going to be something more to that, but that is an interesting angle to start out.
You don't think they're just going to introduce her via Maggie Sawyer?
They could.
As like her new girlfriend or something like that?
I mean, possibly. I don't know if we're ever going to see Maggie Sawyer ever again on the Arrowverse shows. I think that might be a little bit too much of a stretch just because of how she left the show. So yeah, there you go. Like, this is very interesting. Again,
I think it's interesting.
Very interesting.
I hope it's wonderful. I'll be really interested to see who they're casting. but I would have rather seen Cassandra Cain.
Yeah, I get that.
That's all. That's just where like my fan heart comes from.
I will say this. The one thing about this announcement and this crossover is that finally confirming the Batman people are out there and all that stuff like that. This is an interesting idea of how to do the crossover and yet still make it different, because that's something that I'm always an advocate of. You have to find a way, because it can't just be the heroes teaming up and fighting the big threat every year. You have to find a way to make the threat differently. Or otherwise, if it was just fighting the threat, it'd be alien invasion every year, because the DC universe has plenty of fictional aliens.
So many aliens.
So I like the idea that it is, we went from aliens. We went from multiverse Nazi army. Now, Makenda Richardson just said, not Makenda Richardson, but Cullen Prime actually asked, that brings the question, what Earth will Batwoman be from?
That's a good question.
I think it's going to be the Earth Prime. I think it's going to be Earth 1.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to multiverse this.
I would stick around Supergirl's Earth, personally.
Because we already know Batman's there.
Yeah, that's what I would do. And because we haven't heard, it's also difficult to try to do another straight-up vigilante and not set them in Star City.
Here's another question. What if Batwoman to this crossover is like the Ray? What if she's just a minor part of this crossover? And
that's fine.
She's just the Ray. She's going to be in 2 episodes.
That's just fine.
Yeah. She might. Right now, we're taking the assumption that.
Honestly, I would rather have a Ray show than a Batwoman show.
Sure.
At this point.
But right now, we're taking the assumption that she is the focus of the crossover. She might not be.
Yeah.
She might not be.
That's true. That's very
true. Comic Goblin just did in the super chat. Thank you for that. Love the channel. Chances of Supergirl knowing about Batwoman or Bat Family from Earth. Maybe Kara doesn't have Batwoman on her Earth.
They have Batman, because we made a reference to his friend with the pointy ears.
They do have Batman on that Earth. We've mentioned it several times. They haven't name-checked Batman, but they said there's a scary vigilante. Again, we don't even know what Earth...
We do have Bruce Wayne mentioned on Arrow as well.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. We don't know what Earth Prime or Earth... I'm just going to call him Earth 1. We don't know what Earth 1's Batman situation is, because Bruce Wayne is mentioned. And Bloodhaven is mentioned all of the time. Yeah. I would say that, for me, I would have Supergirl know who Batwoman is.
I would too.
It just makes the crossover smooth over a bit, because it's gonna kind of show a big knowledge gap in Arrow's knowledge if he doesn't know about this other vigilante that's operating on his Earth, which I don't buy at all.
I agree. Especially,
Oliver is that universe's Batman.
Especially if we're to believe that Overwatch is as powerful and as on top of it as she conveniently is from time to time.
Bryce Siren says, a Ray show, yikes, that would be awful. How as a fan can you say you'd rather have a Ray show? We can say it because that's our opinions.
Yeah, and we could say whatever we want, and they're not wrong. So slow down.
Yeah, slow your roll, Bryce. There you go. I pulled another couple questions from previous DCTVs. Can
I say something really quick?
Sure.
I saw right at the beginning of the chat that a bunch of people were celebrating Ramadan, and I just wanted to say that if you are celebrating Ramadan and you're fasting and you're hanging out with us today, thank you so much, and I hope you're having a great time.
We promise not to eat anything during the stream.
Yeah, but I just saw that and I wanted to acknowledge it.
Okay, so we have a question right here. Question is from Dre5DS. Said, whatever happened to the Speed Force language? Will it come into play in defeating DeVoe? P.S. I missed the house is bitching joke. All right.
I forgot both of those things. That's really funny.
we did get a name check of that when Cecile got her Zaws.
Yeah. The Flash language was seen, or the Flash, whatever. The weird interlac that's not interlac was seen in the Thinker's Arrow Cave.
Yeah, we've also seen the Caterer girl use it.
Yeah, but it hasn't been referenced. It hasn't been name checked since then. So I don't know. I don't write for the Flash guys. I'm sorry, I don't know where it went.
Well, we actually did. We have a video about this. What we think the Speed Force language is on this channel. So you can go check that out. We have our theories. Ashley did a really good job, a lot of research thinking about what she thinks it actually is.
Thank you.
I actually think that it will be wrapped up in the next episode.
I hope so.
What I think actually, what is the Speed Force language, or why has it disappeared? It's because the writers have forgotten about it.
And again,
there's just so much in season.
I'll acknowledge that something happened and the showrunner went away.
Yeah.
So this season, I think, has been a little crazy for the people making The Flash.
Yeah.
So if we never get those two things explained, I can live with it. Truly, I can live with it.
I honestly can live without the houses bitching because...
I would like to know the Speed Force language.
Because they really set that up as a really big thing. And... we kind of knew it was never going to be a real big thing. And I think they kind of backed themselves into a corner a little bit because, like, the first 5 episodes, they hammered hard on it.
Yes.
And then it went away forever. And now it's only certainly coming back a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know. Cullen Prime's coffee shop reveal won't happen until next season. Every report says that we're going to find out who she is next week, my friend.
We'll see.
So we'll see. We'll
Holding
find
out
out
for gender bent Bart Allen.
Yeah. They said in various interviews that we're gonna see next season's villain, and we're gonna find out who she is in next week's.
If that's the case, and I hope that's the case because it's a lot of really interesting stuff. I kind of think they could have paced it out over 2 episodes. It seems like next week's gonna be a very heavy episode if all of these reports and rumors.
Which is weird because I watched the trailer because we were doing this video because I figured some people would talk about it and stuff like that. It's kind of Inception Barry, so it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Comic Godlin did another super chat. Thank you so much. Said just thought about this. Maybe Constantine will explain Batwoman. Do you think? Let's talk about this right up the bat. Do we think Constantine will be in the crossover next season? He'll be in Legends.
Yeah. I think for sure.
At least for one episode?
At least for one episode. And he's someone who fans have been clamoring to see in a crossover. I think having him join the cast and then not having him play a prominent part in the crossover would be a mistake. Plus, he's already worked with Team Arrow as well.
Yeah.
So he knows a lot of the cast. Yeah. So you wouldn't have to do as much explanation with him as you would with Batwoman or the Ray or some of the new characters that do get introduced.
Yeah, I think that... I don't think he'll be the one to know Batwoman, actually. I think he'll help out, but I don't think he'll be the one to know about Batwoman.
I mean, I'd be fine if he knew Batwoman. That'd be...
and then we're going to mispronounce this next Super Chat's name, and I apologize greatly, sir. Or ma'am. Or sir, ma'am.
Gender neutral.
Dag Hagmark.
You're Swedish. We're not Swedish.
Sorry.
Thank you for the
super chat. Greetings from Sweden. Hello, Sweden. I wonder what time it is in Sweden. Thank you so much for watching from Sweden. And the DCTV show is here right now. The fellow channel that does amazing videos. Go check them out as well. I'm freaking out right now. Adam Slekta is in the chat as well right now. He said, "What characters do you guys want to see introduced?" Really quickly. I don't want to give a mad shout out because you guys have seen the Deadpool video on this channel. Adam's the one that edited that. So his awesome editing is that thing. So what characters do you guys want to see introduced? I like that question. So that's a good question. I assume, let's go say the crossover.
Yeah.
So we're going to sneak into like the Ray. Who else do we want to see introduced besides Batwoman?
Man, I would have said Nightwing for a long time, but I don't think we're ever going to get Nightwing. Especially if we're getting Batwoman, then that means that's as far down the totem pole of Gotham characters as you had to go before we could get someone.
Sure.
Impulse, Bart Allen, I would love to see in the crossover. I also think that's a way to do Bart and not have him disrupt the entire season of Flash.
Yeah.
I really love to see him show up. Are there any that jump to mind for you?
No, not really. Sadly to say, no, not really.
Renee Montoya. I think would be great.
I've said for years, and I agree with a lot of people. The Question would be such a great character to introduce, and he'd be very easy to introduce in the Arrowverse. So I don't know why they don't do that. So there you go. Brendan Carroll said, "Greetings from Ireland. I love Ireland. I've been there. I love it. Thoughts on this Pennyworth show and the habit lately for DC to greenlight prequels, Gotham, Krypton, Metropolis, etc., 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 Ace the Puppy Hound, whatever you want to call it." All right, so I have some thoughts on Pennyworth. My thoughts are that I think that Pennyworth is the only one of these shows, besides Krypton. Krypton is actually good. If you haven't been watching Krypton, it's actually really, really good. It's a lot better than it has any right to be. It's very enjoyable, and I think the writing on it's really good. And plus, the acting is stellar.
They had Rupert Graves, for God's sake.
They have Rupert Graves, for God's sakes. And they have Walter from Arrow now. So he's on the show.
I love him.
Alfred
so
Alfred is very similar to Krypton, where
Pennyworth.
Pennyworth, excuse me, that you could do this show, and you could make it work. You could make it be a Batman show without it being like, oh, and here's this Batman villain, and here's this Batman villain. Metropolis is the scary one for me because
another Superman show without Superman.
Because that's going to be during Superman's time. At least Pennyworth, you could cast a 30-year-old Alfred Pennyworth as a secret agent.
And some 20-year-old Waynes.
You know, and hopefully he never meets the Waynes, but he probably will. So it's like one of those weird things. So, what do you think about it?
I don't care, guys. I'm really sorry. Especially because it's gonna be by the people who made Gotham. I have a lot of beef with Gotham because they showed a 30-second close-up on a 14-year-old actress's butt in the pilot. So for me, it's not something that sells me on it. I don't know why they keep wanting to do prequels. I think there are other more interesting places that they could take characters, especially even if they don't want to do the main hero version of them. But like all things, I hope it's great.
Yeah. We all want it to be. We all want it to be good.
Yes. I want to point this. Makeda Richardson asked Jason, "Would you do a Mayor Lance impression?"
Since this is his last season on Arrow,
because we know he's leaving the show.
Sure.
I just like your Lance impression, so I want to.
Oliver, I gotta kind of get into it a little bit. You see, I gotta slow into it. You see?
Yeah.
Well, tonight, excuse me. I'm a little confused.
It's okay.
Tonight's my last episode of Arrow. It's the last episode you're ever going to see me. I'm certain I'm going to yell at Oliver. I'm certain I'm going to yell at Laurel. And I'm certain that probably the odds are I'm going to take a bullet to the chest somehow.
Probably.
Or the head. Or the arm.
That'd be dark.
I might bleed out. Somehow I'm going to die. That's probably the prediction here because I'm not going to be in next season of Arrow. I doubt that they give my character the happy ending my character deserves. To go home, go to Central City, meet up with River Song, and watch Ancient Aliens. That's so happy trails.
I want to tell you
you
something.
sons of bitches.
I want to tell you something really funny. I got an offer of a review copy for the 10th anniversary edition of Ancient Aliens. And I almost said yes to it just for that joke.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's a weird thing that happened to me recently.
Yeah. I'm certain we're all gonna miss Paul Blackthorne.
I'm gonna miss him.
I miss him too.
He's a treat.
Let's get to this super chat here. There's 2 super chats here. Marlene Cardona just sent us a super chat. Thank you so much, Marlene. Marlene, call me. Call Quentin anytime. Anime fan 9903 said, "Where do you think the Time Bureau is on The Flash and Supergirl? I understand contracts and other issues, but at least story-wise, shouldn't they be there?" All right, I have a prediction on this.
Okay.
My prediction is the same prediction of why the original showrunner, when he brought back Doctor Who, I cannot remember, Russell Davies, when he brought back Doctor Who, he got rid of the Time Lords because he didn't want these controlling forces to constantly say what the Doctor could do, where the Doctor could go, so on and so on and so on. I think the Time Bureau will never show up on The Flash because the Flash writers don't want themselves to be chained by a bureau that could stop Barry at any moment.
I mean, Barry's the most egregious breaker of time, space, continuity, the existence of people's children. I mean, the simple, boring answer is the Time Bureau's not there because it's a different show.
Yeah, well, I also think that they don't want to stop the option that they could time travel. No. Also, if you look at the Time Bureau, it's kind of been used as a joke. It really hasn't been used as like an actual, I don't know, good,
viable organization.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things. I just saw a question here. JXN141 said, "Wait, are they live?" Yes, we are.
Welcome.
Hello. And then we have a super chat from Raymond Verada who said, "I want Slade to make a Deadpool rant on Arrow." Don't count on it, Raymond. They're never going to cross those streams, man.
I don't know what that means.
Because, Deadpool is a copy of Deathstroke.
Oh,
that's why
that'll never happen.
Sorry. Garuda said, "Do you think DeVoe is too powerful to be defeated in a believable way? Team Flash seems way out of his league, in my opinion."
I think the fact that you use the phrase "believable way" is really funny when talking about superpowered characters.
Well, like I said, the trailer for next week shows like Barry's gonna get in the chair and Inception the Thinker.
Great. I will say this. Arrow has done it before where Arrow has not defeated the big bad in the finale.
That's true.
Flash traditionally does, but Flash is breaking from tradition this season. Again, they lost their showrunner. We finally have a non-speedster. So I think there's a chance that maybe they're not taking down the Thinker in the finale.
Oh, really?
And I would be fine with that. I really, because first of all, I think the Thinker's really shaken up the show in an interesting way, and I think Neil Sandilands is just a goddamn gift as an actor.
Yeah.
So, but ultimately, the way they'll defeat DeVoe is they'll bring in every other auxiliary character, and there'll be a big fight and Barry will punch him with lightning.
Probably. I think your question here, Garuda, is I think it's a great question. I don't know if the idea is believable. Well, you are right. You are right. I'll give you believable, because I think that the problem is not that they've made the Thinker too powerful. The problem is that they did the exact same thing that they did last season with Savitar, where they had the cast basically running around like chickens with their heads cut off, having no idea to stop this guy. Every single episode has basically been like, we don't know how to stop DeVoe. I guess throw a rock at him? We don't know how to stop DeVoe. Find the mechanic? And it basically hasn't worked at every avenue.
Yeah.
We just saw it this week. Like, they thought like taking out the satellites will work. Guess what? It didn't work. So it's not that DeVoe is too powerful. He is way too powerful, by the way. But it's more the fact that we have seen no progress from these characters anywhere during the season. Like, one of the things that I always like about Arrow, and Arrow, even in its bad seasons, has always done this, where they have made sort of a progression in sort of defeating the villains. If you remember, in Arrow season 1, it was this thing of like, okay, I'm taking out the people in this list. Oh crap, I get attacked by a Dark Archer. Oh no, I find out about something called the Undertaker. Wait a minute, the Dark Archer is related to the Undertaker? Well, I'm going to go after the machines. Oh crap, here's the Dark Archer, and then I beat him. It's sort of this progression, and I feel that Flash is never that. Flash is just like, we can't beat him, we can't beat him, we can't beat him. Oh, hologram. At the last minute.
I would also echo that this season lacks an emotional development for each of the characters as well. We haven't seen them go on as clear a journey, with the exception of Harry, and that's really only due to a plot device that we're used to seeing from the show.
I now worry that Harry is again going to be the last second saving grace of beating DeVoe.
Well, it's happened how many times now?
Times? Well, it happened last season because of H.R. Wells.
The best Wells.
Or H.W. Wells? H.R. Wells.
The best Wells.
And then it happened because, I think it'll happen again this year. I think him losing his intelligence is going to
it'll be undone, though. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah,
it won't be done forever.
It'll be undone real quick. Real quick, guys, before we leave, we always do packages on DCTV recap, so we're going to continue that right now. Just real quick, hand me that envelope there, Ashley. If you guys want to send us mail, we have this address right here. You can see it right there. You can send us snail mail. We'll open it up on DCTV recap right there. The first one comes from, real quick, comes from Michael Turndrup, who I believe sends us questions all the time in DCTV, if I remember right. It says, hi, Jason and Ashley. This is a comic book created by a local person in my area. He is a medically retired police officer who lives in Harrisburg, Virginia. Cool. I was wondering if you could give him a shout out in his comics. His card is on the back. His name is Christopher Barcombe.
Shout out to Christopher Barcombe. His comic is called The Amazing Adventure of Superior Sun. It looks like a very...
Is it Sam? Or is it Sun?
Sun.
Oh, it's Sun.
Oh.
It's Sam.
Sam. Sorry. Sorry. Let me do it. Take 2. His comic is called The Amazing Adventure of Superior Sam.
Yeah.
It looks like a very cute YA all ages book, which with Jupiter Jet we are super into. So
yeah, that's really cool.
If you're local, go check it out.
And speaking of Jupiter Jet, Garland Holloman sent us this really cool piece of fan art of our character Jupiter Jet. That's so awesome. I'm so happy he sent it to us. And if you want to follow all his stuff, I don't know if I can see it right there. There you go. Garland, he's Garlic graphics. Yeah, there you go. All right, so there you go, guys. Real quick before, if you guys are living in California, by the way, and by the way, this is our last call for questions, final questions that you want us to answer. We'll take a couple more before we end this thing. This weekend, on the 19th and the 20th, we are going to be doing a live geek history lesson at the Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario, California. It's covering me up right there. We're going to be there both days. Artist Alley, table J4. We have a geek history lesson on Saturday at 12 p.m. And then we have a brand new indie superhero talking about Jupiter Jet at 2 p.m. We're going to be there both days. Come by, say hi to us, tell us you like these videos, and also, just talk nerdy stuff with us.
Yeah.
That's all. So table J4, we're going to be there all weekend long. All right. I think that's a good place to end it. There you go. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, click subscribe if you enjoy our stuff on the channel. And also, go support our Patreon if you want more exclusive geeky content everywhere that you're gonna be. And all stuff like that. So, there you go. I'm Jason Inman.
I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson.
And goodbye. Thanks for watching, Super Friends.
Bye.